Hello and welcome to Lush Life's annual gift guide extravaganza. I am joined by some of the most incredible people in the whole wide world. You can see them right here next to me. We are going to be going through one by one and talking you through our little holiday gift guide today. But before we do that, I just wanted to talk a little bit about why we make this gift guide. So last year we started doing this gift guide because quite frankly, I was a little annoyed getting so many things from Amazon for the holidays. And all of my friends make such beautiful and thoughtful and amazing gifts, all of which you can find there at pdxcw.com/gift guide. So if you haven't yet checked it out, go download the PDF right now, and you are going to be blown away by how talented all of our friends are. And whether we're talking about really cool game stuff, whether we're talking about amazing accessories, or we're talking about nonprofits, which is what I'm going to be talking about in just one moment. There are so many options for your holiday gifting. So before you go spend all of your money with a big multinational corporation, take a step, take a moment, read this gift guide and see if you can't find something in here that maybe is a little bit more special, a little bit more unique, and a little bit more you, because all of the people who are featured here in the gift guide are hospitality professionals just like you are. All right, so I have the honor of doing the very first section of the gift guide, which I'm really stoked about because it's nonprofits. And we are featuring some of my all-time favorite human beings and nonprofit organizations. Those two things just happen to coincide. Go figure. The first one here in the gift guide is Another Round Another Rally, which at this point, if you don't know who Another Round Another Rally is, go follow them on the internet, go check out their work, because they're really making a huge stride for the industry. And whether that's through education or grants or one of the many programs and platforms they've developed to make sure that you have access to things, they are doing some incredible work. You can head over to their website and donate. That's a really nice gift, making a donation in somebody's name. Or they have a couple of little gifties too that got cute pins and masks and things like that as well. So head over there, make sure you go follow them as soon as we're done telling you all about the amazing things in this gift guide. The next one is Turning Tables NOLA, which has a very, very big spot in my heart. Torrey Folks is the founder of Turning Tables, and the work that he's doing is absolutely amazing. He's down in New Orleans, making sure that folks have access to bar education, and making sure that folks in the Black community have the best access and the most access to amazing education. There are really cute t-shirts. I know I have two of them. I know. You don't need to, you think? You absolutely do. I have two of Tori's t-shirts. There are totes. There are a lot of really cool gifts over there that you can go check out. They make really great gifts. The shirts are really soft, and they're printed in the most sustainable way possible. And that means that they're also really soft. So I can attest, as a person who owns these shirts, they are super soft, super comfy, and the design is adorable. Next up, we have Herd. Herd provides mental health care, is the best way to put it, for folks in the hospitality industry. And this comes in a lot of different forms. There are groups for folks to talk about sobriety. There's one-on-one counseling that can be offered. If you're interested in any of those services, head over to iheardyou.org. And if you'd like to donate, which I absolutely think you should do, head over to saintcityculinary.org/donate. You're going to be so impressed with the work they're doing over there. I know that I am. They're really pretty incredible. The next group on our list is Know Us Without You. They have so many cool things over on their website. They've done this incredible partnership with Lululemon apparel. So you can get a really cute, really comfy Lululemon but Know Us Without You branded situation. So you look really cute running to get your coffee in the morning or practicing yoga, whatever it is that you do in your mornings. But it's a really great way to support an organization that is fed folks in the Los Angeles community, specifically folks who are not documented through the pandemic. And they've made sure that tens of thousands of families have been able to eat. And the work that they do is nothing short of remarkable. This entire portion of the gift guide is brought to you by Campfire America. Campfire America also co-sponsors and co-hosts all of the classes that we work on Know Us Without You for. You'll see that every Thursday. I'm sure you've gotten to enjoy a number of those classes that are presented in English and Spanish. And those are brought to you by Campari America, just like this part of the gift guide, and are hosted by the team at Know Us Without You. So it makes a whole bunch of sense that we are all here together in this beautiful holiday gift guide. I have the little tumbler from this Know Us Without You collection, and I use it every single day. It is where my hot tea goes, or my coffee if I'm doing a hot coffee that day. So head on over to knowuswithoutyou.la/shop, and you'll be able to get your hands on all of those goodies. Highly recommend the little thermal tumblers. They're amazing. Also in the gift guide, if you take a little peek through, you'll see that our dear friend Chandler, who was one of our hosts for one of those Know Us Without You classes, provided the most delicious cocktail recipe. It features a little bit of Long Branch bourbon, which is one of Wild Turkey's marks. And it is so good and gorgeous as well. So thank you to Chandler for providing that recipe. So we all have a little holiday cheer while we're shopping for all of these awesome gifts that you can get from our nonprofit partners. All right, Stephen, my friend, are you ready to tell the people about all of these cool games that are in the gift guide?
I am more than ready and more than honored to tell about this great page, High Stakes and Highballs, brought to you by The Blend and Beam Suntory. We have some great stuff going on here. And in my family, you know, a big part of the holidays are games after dinner. Once the dishes and everything are put away, it's time to grab a drink and get the games going. And things get a little competitive. My mom can get a little mad at me, you know, after I gloat about winning, but you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. Being called a smartass is a good thing. So if you or someone you know loves games or whiskey, and I mean, honestly, who doesn't love both of those things or just one of them, you're sure to find a gift for them in this page. These are full of the best ways to bring the holidays and the holiday parties to life. The Jacksonville darling herself, Shannon Michelle, has created a wonderful, wonderful holiday Jim Beam bourbon highball recipe with us. And you know what's even better about this recipe? It's going to look amazing in these Frosty Parks Project glasses, which, by the way, proceeds from these go directly to each park on the glass. So what's better than drinking for a cause? I'm born and raised in Colorado, so I'm a little bit partial to the Rocky Mountains one, but all of them are amazing. Every one of them is going to be great for whatever area you're from, or if you visited for them, they're going to be wonderful. So these are honestly the perfect indoor gift for anyone who loves the outdoors. I'm definitely getting them for my family. We're a big camping, all outdoorsy, all that Colorado fun. So these are definitely going to be under the tree come Christmas. And I know everyone is going to love them. And when it comes to making a drink, if you're feeling a little lazy around the holidays and want to make a stress-free drink, you've had enough time wrapping presents, you've done all this stuff for everybody else, kick back and use the Bar Daddy tonic syrup as the easiest way to make a complex tasting highball with none of the work. Even old Ebenezer Scrooge might like it himself. They also have an amazing orgeat, which I've used in a rum and brandy grog. And it is, I've never been to a party people don't love it at. Everything is so good. I get all these compliments. And when I tell them I just used a simple syrup for it, they're blown away. They expected that we had someone behind the scenes making these amazing craft cocktails for everybody. So hopefully you've got a drink in your hand now. And if you don't, probably time to make one, because it's time to have some games and get a little bit of your competitive side showing. This new game is amazing. It's up for pre-order right now. The best way to explain it is Cards Against Humanity, but for the hospitality industry. So if you're tuning in, you're definitely in the target audience for this. You're going to need it. And what better way after a long shift, especially around the holiday time, to have a couple of drinks with your coworkers and friends, and you can laugh or most likely cry about all the Karens, insane drink orders you've had come through, or how many drop trays and blown kegs you've gone through. You can just laugh about it, have a wonderful time. I love this game. It's up for pre-order. And to make it even better, the first 80 to pre-order get a lapel pinch. You can show off to everybody, you know how to have a good time and you're experienced in the industry. And speaking of good times with friends, this next item in our guide is fantastic. It's the Campfire Stories deck. This is super fun. Maybe not right now in the winter, but you definitely are going to want it for the summer. Order it ahead. You're going to be good to go. It's a deck full of prompts that while sitting around the campfire and having a great time, it brings up your own stories. You're going to learn a lot about the people you're with. You've got 50 different prompts. You'll learn tons of stuff. One of my favorites is what's a time you were in danger and didn't know it? And what's your most unexpected animal experience? Both of mine happen to have to do with bears in Colorado, but that's the story I'm going to share until we're around the campfire together. Michael, what's your favorite thing to do around a campfire?
Well, laybacks, gravy related laybacks, drinking out of a bottle, pretty much like, that's my favorite place to drink out of a bottle is around a campfire.
Love it.
What about you, Steven? What's your favorite thing to do around a campfire?
Probably drinking out of a bottle while you've got some weenies roasting over it, It's always a good time, or some marshmallows. You got to get those things on fire, blow them out just in time.
I knew you were going to bring up weenies. I knew like you couldn't get through the stream without saying that at least one time.
I can't. So. I'm a hot dog head. What can I do?
As am I. But thank you so much for sharing that page. I love that page. I love yelling to people about highballs and about games. So that's awesome. Let's jump into what I want to talk about here. I'm talking about the adventure page. So we put together this page for the outdoorsy types. If you're like me, you like to pretend you're an outdoorsy type because you wear lots of Carhartt and you sit outside most of the time. That's me for sure. I love this page for multiple reasons, but mostly because it's full of places or makers from Northern Nevada, where I'm from. I'm super grateful that we got to curate some of my favorite people's awesome stuff from that Higher Than the Sierra sweatshirt you can see right there, which I happen to own. I should be wearing. As well as this Buzz Off bug spray. So my very good friend Brooke Walshaw makes a 100% farm grown and foraged from like natural farms here in Northern Nevada bug spray. It works for all kinds of bugs. Bring this to Camp Run Amok for sure. It's DEET free, so people who are allergic to that or are concerned about that, it's a great option for that. It smells great. Sometimes I'll just throw it on as a little bit of cologne, but also works great for sea fleas and like other little creatures that don't want to be around you without having to have that like stinky DEET smell that just happens to be the only way I smell when I'm at camp. So I'll definitely be bringing that this year. The other thing I want to tell you about, which was also designed here in Northern Nevada, which is awesome, is this High Bear Adventure Flask. So this thing is a million things, is the best way I can put that. It's got a cup on the bottom, so you can drink out of it like that, right? Boom, there's the cup. And then on top of that, there's a cold brew maker, right? So you fill this guy with cold brew or with ground coffee, and then you put, I think it's 20 ounces of coffee, and boom, it goes in there. It's got a cocktail strainer on it. It's got a white wine chiller for Brittany specifically. It actually says 4 Brittany's on it if you read it. It's got, and then you put it on top, and boom, it's a 20-ounce water bottle. So you can make your cold brew, strain it, pour it, or tea, or whatever, or cool infusion. And there you go. If you're like me, you walk around with alcohol in a giant container on a regular basis, this is for you. I'm a big fan of this product. It comes in lots of cool colors, and each one has different art on the inside. Really awesome Northern Nevada company. Big fan of those guys. And then the last thing I want to bring up are these super, super cute bandanas. So if you're like me and you want to see more animals wearing human clothes, like I definitely do, you'll want to go find these Boozy Dog bandanas. I tried to buy one for my cat. She won't wear it. So I'll probably end up wearing one of these. It doesn't quite fit around my big, thick neck, but I'm going to get an extender on there. I think they're super cute. This page is full of such cool things for that outdoorsy person, that enthusiast across the board who wants to be outdoors, jumping in the lake, or coming out to camp. Either way, it's one of my favorites. And speaking of one of my favorites, we got Brittany up next. Everyone's favorite Meemaw.
How'd you know? I'm here to talk about Meemaws.
That's right. What do you think about this white wine chiller? Should we be filling this up? This is the opposite of boiling wine. This is for good times. Bad times we boil wine. Good times we chill wine.
In the worst of times, our wine is fully boiled. In the best of times, it's chilled with our High Bear flask that has a specifically labeled Brittany white wine chiller. Comes with it, like free with purchase.
That's right.
So, and what Meemaw doesn't want their white wine cold?
That's true. So you've got a pretty cool page, right? We're jumping in right into yours.
I do. So while I am mostly here to talk about Meemaws, I am also here to talk about the Meemaws at heart. You know, we have folks who we love and we care about. We want to surprise with something special for the holidays, and they're just longing for days of yore. And with this, vintage lover section of the gift guide, you can get them exactly what their heart desires. And while I have spent a decent amount of this small section of this live stream talking about Meemaws, it's no surprise that this section of vintage items, repurposed items, is led off by our reuse and repurpose queen, Phoebe Esmond. You can visit Phoebe's shop over on Etsy at Palimpsest Design. And this is a one-stop shop for the someone special in your life, whether you want to surprise them with a unique piece of vintage jewelry or a hand-bound tasting journal or notebook where they can record the priceless recipes passed down from their meemaw. And I can attest, I've purchased several of these hand-bound journals, and Phoebe does them herself, and they are beautiful, and they make really wonderful gifts. Every person I've gifted one to, I'm still friends with, which I feel like means that it was a great gift. They really enjoyed it. You'll also find some vintage glassware in this section of the gift guide. Several Etsy shops highlighted here that you can go grab some vintage glassware. And while this is the vintage section, and Dave, apologies, this is not in my script. I also want to highlight these beautiful glasses from Estelle Colored Glasses. Lindsay kindly gifted these to me as a housewarming present this year, and they're beautiful. They come in a bunch of colors, and this is a Black woman-owned business, and these wine glasses are just something really special to sip out of for the holidays. But speaking of sipping, when we're talking about folks who longing for days of yore, you can send them back to the soda shop at any time with these root beer bitters. I mean, this is just taking you right back to the soda fountain anytime you want to go visit. And they're created by one of our recent Scotch diploma graduates, Jonathan Stanyard. So we're very excited to see Jonathan's products here. And I personally love root beer. There is nothing like a cold root beer. It is the number one drink if you are subjected to the torture of going to a shopping mall. Get yourself an ice cold root beer. It'll fix all that ails you. But speaking of fixing things that ails you, the person who's up next has made so many of my Fridays over the past 2 years just not only bearable, but the most exciting days of the week. And that's the one and only Josh Davis. And he's here to talk Brown and Balanced. Shocker. Unmute yourself. I want to hear you.
Oh, see, super producer had to unmute me. You know how he gets when I come on camera. You know,
you know, he's always got that finger ready.
Just always. I'll get on tomorrow. You know, because today it's all about gifts and having fun. I was actually placing an order for some of our friends that's on this gift guide in the Brown and Balanced section. So,
well, you take it away. I'm neither brown nor balanced, so I don't belong in that conversation. But I can't wait to buy all of this delicious stuff.
We do, and two of them, the first two I'm going in that I know personally, the Bourbon Bohemian, Ramona Jackson, straight out of the ATL. She has some wonderful, wonderful cocktail kits. She does it all year round. So you guys don't have to just do it on, in the holiday times. You can get with Ramona. You can get on her website, thebourbonbohemian.com, and you can order these wonderful, wonderful cocktail kits, continuously all year. Support Black businesses. Next, Charismatic Creations, my homie Chrissy, straight out of DC. These are also both ladies have been on Brown and Balanced. They are truly amazing. I wouldn't be able to do the things I do without them. She has her line of non-alcoholic cocktail mixes that are amazing. They're all themed differently throughout the year. Again, not just for gift time for holidays, but you can order this all year round. We also have Mixer, who has they have like theme boxes. Like, this is crazy. Like, I've never seen like a tequila theme box, a whiskey theme box, a vodka theme box, whatever you want. So all the gamut is covered in all of these cocktail kits. And cocktail kits are great, but sometimes we want something a little bit bigger. We shoot right on over to the Kane Collective guys, man. My brother Aaron Joseph and his business partners have created an amazing, amazing line of cocktail mixers. They're cocktail mixers I have used in cocktails. Hopefully we can get them for Brown and Balanced 2022. Cheap plug, but we'll get there eventually. And if you check out tomorrow for Brown and Balanced and you see our featured bartender, you can actually buy some Kane Collective and you can recreate that wonderful cocktail that Scott Israel makes with their mint syrup. So it's two birds with one stone. And then last but not least, you got me. You know what I mean? You guys see the t-shirts, you see the hoodies, you see everything. A little birdie told me to tell you guys there's joggers on the site that just went up. There's crew necks on the site that just went up. Shoot on over to our Teespring channel and get yourself some Brown and Boundless hoodies, tank tops, and all that. Everything we do at Brown and Boundless as far as our apparel goes into an account that takes care of bartenders. You know, we're still not out of the pandemic, guys. So, you know, everybody's not working as regularly as they used to. Things have changed. So we're still out here, you know, helping bartenders out with whatever they need across the country. So, I mean, you know me, support Black business and let's get it in. All right. I'm actually going to place an order as soon as I shoot this over because we have someone else coming on the screen. Chalky, where you at?
But here I am.
Well, there you are. Because I want to get back to my order because I want to add some of the things you're going to talk about to my order.
Well, thank you. I'm really happy to present Indigenous Flavor, which is one of the newer, more unique categories. I mean, it shouldn't be because we've been here for a long time, but I first want to start off with some heritage distilling options. They worked in collaboration with the Chileas tribe in Washington State to overturn all the racist laws that prevented Indigenous people from being able to distill. And all of these, all of the booze all the spirits featured in these are distilled in the first legal distillery on tribal land. So I was like supporting them. And then also Sonoma Distilling has one of my frequent guests and collaborators, Roxanne Jubilowo. And when we get down to the cocktail that I put together, it's been featured in there, but everything's from California. They are like one of my favorite collaborators and really good friends. And it's just the rye in particular is just one of my favorites. And I've been really happy to find it in the UK. And if we go over to the next section, one of the things that I noticed that we had a big response to is Indigenous wines. So first I'm going to start with Quita, which is Tara Gomez and the Santa Ynez Chumash tribe. What's really unique about this winery is that Tara works with her tribe and they own the land to make this wine. And it's been winning awards left and right. She's an amazingly talented winemaker. And, you know, the sous chef mentioned, Sean Sherman mentioned that these were some of the wines that he carried, as well as Twisted Cedar, which is made by another Paiute tribe. You know, like my background is Paiute, so I've always been kind of like prone to being really excited when I'm just like, oh, there's kind of my people. We're probably related, but look at this awesome stuff we're doing. But I just think definitely trying out these wines with how kind of harsh the history of winemaking has been for us and turning that power dynamic around is a beautiful way to celebrate changing things. And next, I was going to go into the cocktail that I made, which is your people will wear cardigans and drink highballs, which, if you're familiar with my favorite movie of all time, Addams Family Values, is one of the quotes from Wednesday Addams right before they kind of like, you know, burn down the whole Pilgrim town and everything like that for the Thanksgiving pageant. But for this one, it's based on a cocktail that a good friend of mine, Damon Bolte, made. And instead of using mezcal and other half IPA, I want to go with an indigenous route with it. So we have the Sonoma Distilling Cherrywood Rye and Campari Vermouth. And then the important aspect of this is that we're using the Bow and Arrow, which is a native brewery. They're really easy to find on Instagram, but they're doing this great program called Native Land, where they're working with different breweries throughout the US in collaboration to research the people whose land that they're occupying and work with local brewers to kind of raise money and give back. And the reason I picked these two indigenous ingredients is because the Sonoma Distilling is really easy to get. And as more breweries sign on for the land back thing, it'll just be an easier cocktail. And I really like it's a nice smoky Boulevardier kind of variation with a little bit of IPA. It's a really nice sipper. And I always like a cheeky cocktail name. So I'm going to turn it right back on over to Michael.
You are the best at cheeky cocktail names. Let me tell you what. When I saw that name, I was like, that's one of my. I mean, it's one of my favorite parts of that movie. But I was like, I knew exactly what it was. I also wear cardigans and have highballs and I'm a white guy, so I kind of like fall right into that. So,
And you're living near my land, so it kind of all works out.
it all works out that way. Well, thank you, Chucky, so much for sharing that. You curated some amazing gifts. I can't wait to make that cocktail. Those wineries, that especially the brewery you mentioned, that was Bow and Arrow, right? Bows and Arrows.
Bow and Arrow, yeah.
Bow and Arrow.
It's the first queer women-owned native brewery in America. And at some point, we're going to have Shyla Shepherd on to talk more about a lot of the cool projects that they're doing.
I can't wait for that. And speaking of upcoming stuff, we have so much amazing things showing up. Tomorrow we've got Brown and Balance. Pretty excited about that. So make sure you jump and watch that. We have next Tuesday, we have all of the Campfire team that have been hosting with us. They're going to give us some of their favorites from the previous year. If you haven't seen our Portland Cocktail Week best of, make sure you go look at that on our YouTube page. As always, if you don't follow us yet, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube page, as well as like our Facebook page. You can go to our Instagram at PDXCW as well. That's where you can see all this. Make sure you go to the gift guide, pdxcw.com/gift guide. That's where you can see all this stuff. All the links are embedded. Some classes are embedded, so you don't have to go search around. You still got time to shop for all this stuff and ship it into your house, or hopefully it's around you in some way. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. Please go out and support these local bartenders and friends. I got a few people here. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. I think we have one more who's going to pop in. But yeah, happy holidays. Cheers to everyone.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.